Well, hey there guys, welcome to today's video. We are under construction a bit here at the channel, Rock Hard Riffs. We're changing a few things. Rock and roll with Rock Hard Riffs. Well, this is Rock Hard Riffs, the rock and roll guitar channel for the self-taught. Welcome to today's video, guys. That's right, we're undergoing some changes. We have sold some equipment. If you're familiar with the channel, we used to have a Marshall JVM410 combo. It was a 100-watt amp with 4 channels, knobs galore on that thing. Too many knobs, right? Well, not really if you understand how the amp works, but nevertheless, it's 100 watts and it's just way overkill for what I'm doing right now. So what did we do? We downsized quite a bit. This is going to be my new quote-unquote live rig. That's if I ever get out to play live again someday. I'm going to need at least a somewhat decent rig to go out and play. My little Orange Crush 35 RT is great if you can mic it, etc., but that isn't always the case. So I wanted to get something that had some volume, but just I don't need a 100-watt amp. I just don't. So again, guys, we're going to be bringing in some new equipment. Few bigger things, few little things. This is definitely some of the bigger things. So without further ado, let's see what lies behind the curtain. Okay, this is the old cover to the Marshall JVM410. I kept it, no reason why not to. I also kept the amp stand that I had with it. I'm probably going to change this cabinet out. I'm not sure yet, but I probably am, and it's one of the reasons why I kept the amp stand. But let's have a look, guys. What do we have? Well, looky there. This is the Marshall Origin 20-watt amp head. We scaled way back. 1 channel, no reverb, and just kind of like an overdrive channel. You couldn't call it like a hard rock or a really distorted metal type of channel. Not even, hard rock again. So here it is, guys, the Marshall Origin 20-watt amp head. That's right, 20 watts. We went from 100 to 20. Not only that, this can go to 3 watt or half a watt. This isn't a demo, I'm just going to briefly talk about this. So look for demos coming soon, guys. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to do a separate demo on this cabinet too. Don't forget that. And what do we have there? Oh my, it's the Marshall Code 212. There are 2 12-inch Marshall speakers in there. They're not Celestion, they're Marshall speakers, supposedly tailored to go with the Marshall Code amp head. Now that may or may not be true, I don't know, but this thing was really inexpensive for a 212 cabinet. There's another Harley Benton out there that goes for about the same price of this, except it has 2 Celestions in it, and those are the vintage 30s. These are, again, like some type of generic Marshall speaker, but they sound pretty good. So, there it is, guys, the Marshall Origin 20. No reverb, no different channels. It's very basic, has a couple extra really cool features. We're going to talk about that when I demo it. And again, the Marshall Code 212. If you look at it, if you can tell from that angle you're looking at, it's slightly slanted, this cabinet. And it's also supposed to sit there vertically like this. So that's kind of nifty. It's like a cool little quarter stack. Alright guys, well let's plug it in. Let's listen to a little bit of it and we'll rock and roll. Okay guys, so let's crank it up. Now we are in the 3-watt output selection. So again, it has 20 watt, 3 watt, and half a watt. We are on the 3 watt. Another thing you're going to notice, there's no standby switch, just a power switch. And there it comes. Tubes. Now why would I go from a 100-watt British-made Marshall amp to a 20-watt made in Vietnam Marshall amp? Why would I do that? When I demo this, let me know in the comments, guys, and I'll tell you why I did this exactly. It's kind of a long story. Not that long, but kind of a story. If you want to know it, let me know in the comments, and I'll tell that story when I go to demo this. So as you can hear, no reverb. So let's turn on some reverb with our reverb pedal. If you notice, there's a little bit of bite in there. This has a master volume and a gain knob, and that's it as far as volume goes. So you can really get this thing, the power amp in it, to really get going pretty easily. And that's what you hear here. Hear that bite? It's nice and gentle, nice and clean. But when you hit it, it's got a little bit of bite to it. Now this, I'm following kind of the Tim Pierce theory of how to go about setting up your rig. We can go into that more later. Again, that's part of that story. But that's why I did it this way. So, there's that. Now let's go ahead and listen to like a Tube Screamer or Texas Overdrive from the Strymon Sunset. And that's with the gain on that pedal at about 10 o'clock. Okay, so it's not a whole lot of gain, but just a bit. Pretty cool tone, and that again is those Marshall speakers. Hopefully this will convey, but if it doesn't, it sounds pretty darn good. Now let's put on some full overdrive. We're in the Strymon Sunset. We're on the 2-stage overdrive. Yeah, not bad. And again, we need to mess with the EQ a lot more. Believe it or not, there's a lot of bass in that. So these are kind of treble-y speakers that are in here. They're probably modeled after like a vintage 30. I'm not crazy about vintage 30s, to be honest with you. I prefer greenbacks a lot more. So that also is what's going to dictate what I do with this cabinet. So that'll be coming up soon. This is really a pedal platform, and that's one of the big reasons I bought it, is because it's a pedal platform. You can do whatever you want to with the thing. Again, reverb, delay, overdrive, etc., etc., etc. You know the game. So I'm really loving this head. This cabinet's pretty cool too. But again, I'm gonna try something else after this. So, all right, guys, there's some big news for the channel. Again, we have other stuff coming in too, some bigger stuff and some little stuff. So make sure you subscribe and make sure you ring that bell so you're notified of our videos coming out in the future. And again, leave a comment, guys. Let us know what you think. Going from a 100-watt Marshall JVM to a 20-watt Marshall Origin, made in Vietnam. But you know, as long as it's good quality, I don't care. It doesn't matter if it's made in Vietnam or Mexico or whatever. China, but you know, I have no problems with this. And again, just as long as the quality is good, that's all I care about. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you next video.